Ladies and gentlemen, let me make one thing clear. If you're sitting here today expecting some magic trick to solve all your problems, you're in the wrong place. Life doesn't hand you anything for free. If you want success, if you want to be great, then you need to earn it. And that starts with mastering self-discipline. You think those successful people, the ones with the power, the wealth, the influence, think they just woke up that way? No, they didn't. They earned it with hard work, grit, and most importantly, self-discipline. And let me tell you something. If you don't learn to control yourself, then you can forget about controlling anything else in your life. Self-discipline is the bedrock of success. Self-discipline isn't some fluffy, motivational concept. It's not about feeling good or having a good day. It's about consistently showing up day after day, even when it's tough. It's about making the hard decisions and sticking to them, even when the easier path is staring you in the face. Self-discipline isn't a luxury, it's a necessity. You need it, and you need it now. If you want to stop living a life of mediocrity and start living up to your true potential, then listen up. Today, I'm going to give you 6 techniques to master self-discipline. These aren't theories or nice ideas. These are real, practical steps that will force you to stop making excuses, stop procrastinating, and start taking control of your life. But let me warn you, this is going to take work. You have to want it. You have to be ready to take action. If you're not ready for that, you might as well walk out. But if you are, buckle up, because we're about to get real. Create a non-negotiable routine. The first technique to mastering self-discipline is creating a non-negotiable routine. Let me be blunt. If you can't set a schedule and stick to it, you're never going to make it. There are people in this world who get up at the crack of dawn, work their asses off, and then hit the bed late, only to do it all again the next day. You know why they do it? Because they've built a routine they follow no matter what. A routine is a game changer. It removes the chaos. It removes the excuses. When you set a routine, you're not just hoping for good things to happen. You're setting yourself up for success. Every single day you're putting in the work because your routine demands it. It doesn't matter if you're tired. It doesn't matter if you're not feeling motivated. When you build a non-negotiable routine, you eliminate the need for motivation because your routine takes over. Now, I'm not talking about some half-hearted attempt at a routine. I'm talking about a solid, unshakable structure. I'm talking about waking up at the same time every day, no excuses. Working out, reading, whatever it takes to move you closer to your goals. A non-negotiable routine means you don't give yourself an option to back out. You don't give yourself an option to sleep in, skip the gym, or miss that important meeting. You show up every day. You see, motivation is fleeting. It comes and goes. One minute you're fired up, the next minute you're watching Netflix for hours. But a routine, especially a routine that doesn't give you room to negotiate, beats motivation every single time. The power of routine is that it eliminates decision fatigue. You don't have to decide whether you should work today or take a break. You just do it. When you set a routine, you're telling your mind and your body, this is what we do. We don't deviate from the plan. And guess what? Over time, that routine becomes automatic. You don't think about it anymore. You just do it. This is the kind of discipline that separates the winners from the losers. Routine is everything. Without it, you're wandering aimlessly. With it, you are moving toward your goals with purpose and clarity. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. Building a routine is tough. In the beginning, it feels like a drag. It's uncomfortable. It forces you to prioritize your time. But if you want results, you have to do it. If you want to achieve your goals, if you want to be someone who gets things done, then you need to create a non-negotiable routine. And the only way to succeed is to stick to it, period. Master your environment. The second technique to mastering self-discipline is mastering your environment. If you think you can just tough it out and be disciplined in an environment that's full of distractions, you're lying to yourself. The world is full of noise, temptations, and distractions that will pull you in every direction. If you don't control your environment will control you. You need to build an environment that supports your goals. That means getting rid of distractions. That means eliminating anything that takes away from your focus and productivity. If you want to work, get rid of your phone. If you want to read, make sure you have a quiet place to concentrate. The world is full of distractions. And if you think you can just tune them out and focus, you can't. Not unless you intentionally structure your environment to make it easier for you to be productive. Think about your workspace. Is it cluttered? Is it full of things that distract you? Is your phone sitting there just waiting for you to check social media? That's not discipline. That's setting yourself up for failure. Get rid of the distractions. Put your phone on silent. Close the tabs on your computer. Remove anything that doesn't help you focus and push forward. This is how you set yourself up for success. Now, it's not just about eliminating distractions, it's also about surrounding yourself with the right influences. If the people around you are lazy, undisciplined, or constantly distracting you, guess what? They're going to drag you down. It's time to stop making excuses and cut out the negative influences in your life. You don't need them. You need people who inspire you. Your environment is everything. If you're trying to build discipline, but you're constantly surrounded by distractions, you'll fail. But if you control your environment, if you build a space that encourages focus and productivity, you will thrive. This is where discipline begins, taking control of the people, places, and things around you and ensuring they align with your goals. So, stop blaming the world for your lack of discipline. Start with your environment, take control of it, and watch how quickly your self-discipline begins to improve. Learn to delay gratification. The third technique to mastering self-discipline is learning to delay gratification. This is where most people fall short. They want everything right now. They want to take the shortcut, the easy way, the quick fix. But let me tell you something. Instant gratification is the enemy of success. You can't get where you want to go if you're always giving in to your desires in the moment. Delayed gratification is the ability to put off immediate pleasure in exchange for long-term gain. It's about making the tough decision now so that you can reap the rewards later. And let me be clear, this is not easy. It's not about avoiding fun or pleasure, but about understanding that the best things in life come from hard work and sacrifice. You can't have everything right now, and if you try to, you'll end up with nothing in the long run. Look at successful people. They didn't get where they are by partying every weekend or taking unnecessary breaks. They understand that discipline requires sacrifice. They understand that the rewards come later, but they're worth the wait. So if you're sitting there thinking about how much you want that immediate pleasure, whether it's a fancy meal, a shopping spree, or a day off, remember this. The successful people you admire didn't get where they are by indulging in instant gratification. They got there by delaying gratification. This is where most people get weak. They say, I'll do it tomorrow, or I deserve a break. But successful people understand that the best thing they can do is to deny themselves now in order to secure their future. The short-term sacrifice of saying no to pleasure is nothing compared to the long-term reward of achieving your goals. To master self-discipline, you have to be able to see beyond the immediate moments and recognize that your actions today have a huge impact on your future. So learn to delay gratification. Learn to make the tough decisions. Learn to say no now so that you can say yes to bigger and better things later. Set clear, concrete goals. The fourth technique to mastering self-discipline is setting clear, concrete goals. Without clear goals, you have no direction. You have no reason to push yourself. If you're just going through the motions without a clear idea of where you're going, your discipline will crumble. That's why setting clear, concrete goals is essential. Successful people don't wander aimlessly. They know exactly what they want and they set concrete, measurable goals to get there. Whether it's a financial goal, a fitness goal, or a career goal, it doesn't matter. What matters is that you know exactly what you're working toward. And I'm not talking about vague, wishy-washy goals like I want to be successful or I want to lose weight. I'm talking about specific, measurable, time-bound goals that will force you to take action. Once you've set those goals, break them down into smaller, actionable steps. You need to create a plan. You need to know exactly what needs to be done and by when. This is the blueprint for your success. Without it, you're just hoping things will work out. And I'll tell you this, hoping won't get you anywhere. You need a plan. You need to set your goals, break them down into actionable steps, and follow through. Setting goals gives you something to strive for. It gives you clarity, and more importantly, it gives you the motivation to keep going when things get tough. You'll have something to look back at, something to measure your progress against. Without goals, you're just wandering in the dark. But with clear goals, you can see the path ahead. So stop wasting time, set clear, concrete goals, and follow through. Don't leave your success up to chance. Take control and build your future. Take full responsibility for your actions. The fifth technique to mastering self-discipline is taking full responsibility for your actions. This is where most people fail. They love to blame everyone else for their problems. It's my boss, it's the economy, it's the government, it's my upbringing, all these excuses, every single one of them is nothing but a way to avoid taking responsibility for your own actions. You are responsible for your success and your failures. You are responsible for how you use your time. You are responsible for how hard you work and how much effort you put into your goals. Stop making excuses. Stop blaming others. The moment you take full responsibility for your life is the moment you gain control. When you take responsibility, you stop being a victim. You stop blaming circumstances. You realize that you have the power to change your life. If something isn't working, it's up to you to fix it. If you're not where you want to be, it's because of the decisions you've made. When you own your actions, you stop making excuses and you start taking massive action to fix your problems. Taking responsibility is empowering. It's what separates the winners from the losers. Winners take responsibility for everything in their lives. Losers blame everything else. So, if you want to master self-discipline, if you want to take control of your life, you have to start taking responsibility for everything you do. If you want success, take responsibility. If you want a better life, take responsibility. Don't wait for anyone else to change your circumstances. Don't wait for someone else to fix your problems. Own it. Embrace pain and discomfort. The sixth technique to mastering self-discipline is embracing pain and discomfort. Let me tell you this. Self-discipline is not for the faint of heart. It's not for the weak. It's not for those who shy away from difficulty. Self-discipline requires you to push through the pain. It requires you to be uncomfortable. Pain is inevitable. Discomfort is part of the process. If you're not willing to face it head on, then you're never going to achieve anything worth having. The people who make it to the top are the ones who are willing to embrace the discomfort, to push through the pain, to endure the struggle. Every successful person you admire has faced adversity. They've faced discomfort. They've faced pain. But instead of running away from it, they leaned into it. They used it as fuel to push them even harder. And that's what you need to do too. If you want to develop self-discipline, you need to embrace the struggle. You need to understand that the harder it is, the more you grow. Comfort is the enemy of progress. When you get too comfortable, you stop growing. You stop improving. But when you embrace pain and discomfort, you break through barriers. You develop strength. You develop resilience. And you develop self. So stop running from the pain. Lean into it. Embrace the discomfort. That's where the growth happens. That's where you build the kind of discipline that can't be broken. Consistency is the key to success. The seventh technique to mastering self-discipline is understanding that consistency is the key to success. Too many people want instant results. They think that success happens overnight. They dive in, go full throttle for a week or two, and then wonder why nothing substantial has changed. And when it doesn't happen as quickly as they expected, they quit. Let me tell you right now, success is never a sprint. It's a marathon. It's about showing up day after day, doing the work, even when it's hard, even when you don't feel like it. Consistency is what separates the people who make it from the ones who don't. It's easy to start something. We've all started projects, diets, or workouts with enthusiasm. But what separates the winners is sticking with it. It's not about working hard for a few days and then letting the momentum die. It's about committing to a cause, committing to your goals, and working on them every single day, no matter what. Consistency builds momentum, and momentum is one of the most powerful forces you can have in your corner. It doesn't matter if you're not seeing results immediately. It doesn't matter if you don't feel like it. What matters is that you do the work consistently. The results will come in time, but they come only when you keep showing up. When you practice consistency, you're training your mind to expect results from effort. The more you commit to your goals each day, the more ingrained that habit becomes. You start to identify as the person who does the work. You start to see the discipline as part of your identity. And that's where real transformation happens. You can't afford to be inconsistent. If you're someone who works hard for a few days and then falls off, you're never going to get anywhere. You need to develop the mental toughness to keep going when things aren't easy, when the initial excitement wears off, and when life throws challenges your way. Show up every day without fail. That's how you build success, and that's how you build self-discipline. If you want success, it's going to take consistency. If you want to build self-discipline, you need to practice it every single day. Make consistency your daily commitment, and over time, you will be amazed at what you can achieve. The power of accountability. The eighth technique to mastering self-discipline is embracing the power of accountability. Let me be clear, discipline is hard. It's difficult to stay motivated when you're working alone. It's easy to give up, to slack off, to let things slide when you have no one to answer to. That's why accountability is absolutely critical. It's the one thing that can keep you on track when you're tempted to quit. Accountability isn't just about having someone looking over your shoulder. It's about having someone who will hold you to your word. It's about having someone who will ask you the tough questions, challenge your excuses, and push you to be better. When you make a commitment to someone else, you're far more likely to follow through. You know that if you don't, you'll have to face the consequences, whether that's letting them down or facing the shame of failing. But it's not just about external accountability, it's about internal accountability as well. You need to be accountable to yourself. When you set a goal, don't just make it something you want to do. Make it something you have to do. You must hold yourself accountable, not just to the people around you, but to the person you want to become. If you make excuses to yourself, if you let yourself slide, you're not developing discipline. You're feeding your weaknesses. The power of accountability can't be underestimated. When you know someone is watching, when you know someone is expecting results from you, you push yourself harder. But the real power of accountability is that it forces you to show up even when no one is looking. It forces you to stay true to your word, to your mission. And that is the core of discipline. Doing what you said you would do, no matter what. You need to find someone who holds you accountable, whether it's a mentor, a coach, or a friend. And you need to hold yourself accountable as well. Don't make excuses. Don't look for shortcuts. Take responsibility for your actions and know that you're going to have to face the consequences if you don't follow through. So get an accountability partner, but more importantly, hold yourself accountable. Your discipline will grow exponentially when you have someone to answer to and when you have the integrity to answer to yourself. Ladies and gentlemen, mastering self-discipline isn't for the faint of heart. It's a path paved with discomfort, sacrifice, and hard work. But let me tell you something. You can't have success without it. You can't build greatness without self. The techniques I've laid out for you today, creating a non-negotiable routine, mastering your environment, learning to delay gratification, setting clear goals, taking responsibility, embracing pain, being consistent, and leveraging accountability. These are the principles that will set you apart. These are the techniques that will turn you into the kind of person who doesn't just talk about success, but who achieves it. If you want to rise above mediocrity, if you want to become the person you were meant to be, it starts with discipline, period. Now it's time to stop talking and start doing. The only question left is, are you ready?